Good evening and Happy New Year. It's the January 2025 edition of Your Questions Answered. I'm Michael, KB9VBR.
Remember to write 25 on your checks for those of you that still write checks. I'm Joe, KD9CJX.
Do
Good
people
evening.
still write
Happy New Year.
checks?
Yeah, someone said that don't forget to write 2025 on your checks. I'm like, when's the last time I wrote a check? The last thing I was writing checks for were my union dues once a year.
Okay.
But now we do have credit card processing, but they charge a 3% service fee on it. So I was looking for the checkbook actually last week. I couldn't find it. Come to find out, my wife took her purse to the Dominican Republic, and the checkbook was there. So I had to eat 3%. But
I still write checks. So.
Once in a great mood. And then the other thing I think we wrote him for was our dog sitter.
Okay.
He does like the prepaid card, but now she does PayPal.
Oh.
So I don't think I have to have checks anymore.
Everything's like Venmo now and stuff. So you just flash the card.
Yes. Yeah. It's getting to that point. I think even you go to the farmer's market, most everyone's got Venmo or a Cash App. Something, right?
You know, I was at Menards last week, and the guy in front of me pulls out a checkbook, and it's like, oh my God, you can't! No! This takes too much time.
Does the clerk go, what are you doing? What is that? I gotta call the manager.
Well, they do it. They just run the check through the machine. They scan it and give it back to the person. So they don't even
have to write anything on it.
They don't want the paper anymore, which is crazy. Yeah. So,
hey, we got soon. They'll have all the cash apps at the Hamfest too, right?
Yeah, there you go. Well, I always took plastic when I sold at the Hamfest. I took plastic. So
yeah. Well, I mean, but now think about it. There's no like, oh, I didn't bring enough money, right?
That's right.
Come on.
Hey, we got people filling up the chat here. Let's say hi while our viewers get online. We got the buddy Don from the Twin Cities.
Hey, Don.
Happy New Year, Don. And Bill from the Southeast PA. He's going to get dumped on with snow. It sounds like
quite a bit.
Yeah, big winter storm coming. We're going to get nothing. It's just going to stay south of us. Scott from Maine. Let's see. We've got Todd from Green Bay. Good evening.
Hey,
yeah. Amateur TV from Denmark.
Hey.
So cool.
Hello to all of our Denmark and our Danish.
All of our Danish viewers, and because we've got one less because my wife's not watching. So.
Oh yes. How was the Aquavit for Christmas?
It was very good. I got to go to Duluth and get another bottle because it's gone. So
that will definitely clean the sinuses out.
Yep. Ed from Illinois. So,
hey, Ed.
Mike from Fenimore. Oh man, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Oklahoma. And well, thanks for joining us. And if you've got ham radio questions, we might have the answer for you.
Oh, we'll have an answer. It may not be right, but we got an answer.
Leave them in the chat. We'll try to get to as many as we can. So I see there's one or two that are starting to fill in. So we'll just give people a moment to get the questions into the chat, and I'll mark them here as we kind of scroll through here so we can circle back to them. Let's see. We've got Chris from Eastern Wisconsin. Steve from San Jose.
You're all over Sarasota, Florida.
And Sarasota, Florida too. So that's nice. It's like a regular call-in show kind of thing. So.
First time caller, long time listener, right?
Long time listener. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight. So not only are we going to answer your questions, we're going to talk about a few things because there's some big events in the month of January There's we'll talk about a VHF event called Winter Heat, and Winter Field Days coming up the end of the month. And I'm sure there's some other stuff that people will want to chat about too. So be sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a fun time tonight. Now, could you do a winter heat activity with Parks on the Air?
Well, I suppose you could do that.
It's hard to get 10 contacts on 2 meter FM, but this was the time, I guess.
Well, you can start on 2 meter, I suppose, and work your way down. So just log the winter heat ones, the VHF ones for winter heat.
Exactly.
We got a question here that just popped on up. Dale has asked, I'm in the market for a 40-meter antenna for my QTH home location, capable of handling legal limit. I have plenty of room, so would like to use it for DX. You guys are great. So, legal limit, 40-meter antenna. I guess, if you're looking for, just a plain old dipole, as long as the center, if you're going to use, you're probably going to want to use, at the very least, if you use open feed line like ladder line, and terminate right into the dipole,
like a 40-meter. You could do a 40-meter ZEP.
ZEP, yeah.
But I mean, feeding open feed line, unless you got like a big Versa tuners. Remember I talked about, or the super tuners from MFJ. That's because you can't really find a 1-to-1 balun or on for balance unbalanced that'll really do full legal limit, right?
That's going to be the hard thing is transformers.
And then so if you do that was my first thing, is a dipole. So because you do have such high current, you always have the possibility of arcing between the two terminals at the centerpiece. So there's got to be spread apart. Now, when you spread those apart, that's actually a form of impedance matching.
Yep.
There are some antennas that you have to have a specific like V pattern or a delta pattern for matching. So if you get them too far apart, then you can actually affect the impedance of the antenna. So I would just try like DX Engineering and see what they got
for full legal limit antennas. Yeah,
I run a PAR NFED's full legal limit NFED antenna. I do have an amp down here. I've yet to get it running. One day I'll get it running, but that's the only reason why I have that up there. And my amp only runs 500-600 amps or watts at most. So, but yeah, if you're doing that, really your best bet is to probably just a dipole, especially if it's just going to be 40 meters. What I mean?
Exactly. That's full legal limit, 40 meters. That's the first thing that comes to my head is a dipole, and feeding it with open line just to avoid that 1-to-1.
If you're going to do that, then make sure you get it up high near 40-50 feet.
Yeah.
Don't
really make it effective. Yeah.
Don't run a cloud burner at 25 feet. You're just wasting volts.
Yep. Exactly. A low dipole, it'll work, 100 watts, 50 watts, but your NVIS properties is just going to send that stuff straight up. So if you really want to, if you're going to put the time and effort into an amplifier and you want to get and you said DX, so it's got to be a half wave, 50, 60 feet in order to really be effective. And
33 feet is a quarter wave. So 60 feet. 65 feet.
Yeah.
So now you start talking about a tower and some other things. But if you got a full legal limit amplifier, well, by all means, my friend, you are a man of many, many possibilities.
Yep. I've seen people make a full legal limit like NFED half waves, but you're stacking 2 or 3 toroids together.
You gotta you gotta have some heavy duty enamel wire, and you gotta space it out. And you do not want to run anything with duty cycle on that. Ooh, that's gonna melt down real quick.
Yeah, exactly. So try to avoid anything that's got some kind of a transformer in it. If you want to go multi-band, trap dipoles.
Trap dipole would be fine
for full legal limit multi-band. Verticals.
Probably use a fan dipole too.
You could do a fan. Yeah.
A vertical. Yeah. I mean, a vertical, you're still going to probably need a 4-to-1, or you're going to need you're going to need something.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a store-bought, like the DX Commander or a Gap Titan or something. I think those will run.
There you go. Yep.
Vertical.
So that would.
I've known a couple of people with Gap Titan have done pretty well with them, and I think check the specs on them. But I think those will run full legal limit. Yeah.
So hope that gives you some options there, Dale. I see it. Yep, we've got some confirmations. Yep. So good deal. So that's fun. So all right. We got a few more people jumping in here. Like I said, if you've got ham radio questions, we might have the answer for you. Joe, I see one here there. He's talking about 530 meters. I know you had thought about that at one time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. First of all, 630 and 2200 meters are as black of arts as microwave is. You are going to put a lot of money into things, but if you can do it, my friend, I want to hear about it. So the thing that I've seen is, at this low of frequency, you don't need a lot of height. You need a lot of wire.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way to make it up for that is to build a coil. The coils I've seen, I kid you not, is a 55-gallon drum wrapped with wire.
Big,
or some other contraption. I think the barrel, even at a couple watts, I think 630 you can run 5 watts. 2200, I think you can only run a watt.
It's not that much power, but those coils get hot because of the amount of inductance they got going on there.
And then you got to have like a fence line, right? You got to have like a half mile of fence running out in a direction, and then it kind of works. There is no good way to do it unless of a former extremely low frequency transmitter site in northern Wisconsin, and you have several miles of poles sitting in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where that could come from. But you are in some great territory there, because the Australians have been doing it for a while. Us in the United States only got access to this about 6-7 years ago.
Not that long ago, yeah.
And there's nothing commercial out there that gets you down there. It's all homebrew transverters and stuff. So, but yeah, I would say if you can take a look, I'm sure if you can get some way to measure the inductance or to calculate the inductance of a huge ass inductor, and then just run fence line. Try that. That'd be my first guess. A good friend of ours, Jerry, W9GLG, we always joke we're going to do 2200 because he has a horse pasture, and we were going to load that up, but his wife said no. She had to draw the line somewhere.
I did a quick Google search for 630 meter antennas. And antennas by N6LF looks like the place you're going to want to be. He's got a bunch of resources here. So 630. So there's some good plans. Short top-loaded vertical with a single wire counterpoise. So you can kind of see, there's he's probably got a heck of a load going on there.
Yeah. Whoa.
Hey, well, that's just the
That
support poles.
There's quite some
So,
stuff going on there.
one of 4 antenna elements.
Holy smoke. Yeah. Like I said, well, yeah, that doesn't look like much there, does it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
matching.
he's using a trash can as an inductor.
That's the matching tuning unit. Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah, this is crazy. I kind of like this.
yeah.
God, I saw somewhere, I think it was on Facebook Marketplace, used telephone poles.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I think I might have sent it to you at one point, Michael, but I was like, oh, I could get 3 or 4 of those in the backyard, couldn't I?
Yeah. You
because the
you
other
might
thing
now that all your trees are gone.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned that to everyone, but we had 3 trees taken out at a lot of money because they had to get a crane in to come in over the house. But and then I rehung the end fed, and that's like the first time ever that I've had a completely untouched antenna, no branches or anything hitting it until really I think the whole way through. So it really has improved the performance on it.
Good deal. So, right, but yeah, that's I'm gonna have to look into this. I don't have the space for 630 meters, but
we don't have the space between our houses, Michael. There is a lot of real estate needed for that stuff. But
I got to show. Here's the last picture in the document. I guess I didn't realize the scale of this whole thing until I saw the crane.
Oh, wow!
See if I can shrink it there.
Well, if that doesn't deter me, nothing will.
Holy smokes. This is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. That's like when you see the picture of the guys that put the full 40-meter halfway beam up with it, at 100 feet on the rotating tower.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Like some people have way too much money. Like Jeff, this guy's got like Jeff Bezos money right here, man.
Yeah. Oh my Lord. So too rich for my blood.
Or he's single, one or the other.
All right. Hey, we got some people coming in. Our buddy Mark from Michigan.
Hey, Mark.
Snowy Michigan. He's got snow. We got squat still. So
yeah. I think we got about a ½ inch sitting on the ground right now.
Yeah. And Nate from MKE. So hello Milwaukee. Harry Scout's got an idea. Maybe we could tune up the ski lift cables on rib for the off season.
Well, okay, so you say that, and here's the catch of that. So one of the things that you have to do is you have to register, I think, with the Public Service Commission.
I believe so, yeah, because it interferes with utility equipment.
Right. So on the large transmission lines, they have communication systems that also use those lines. And they run in the same frequency range as 630 and 2200. And if you Scout knows Rib Mountain area, there are transmission lines all around Rib Mountain.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that we would be.
All right. So, here is the FAA airport beacons. They still use those for like the non-directional beacons, I think.
Do they?
Is that must be in that neck of the woods frequency wise?
Oh, I think for the international airports they do, like JFK and Atlanta and stuff on the coast. I think they still do. I'll have to ask my brother-in-law. He's air traffic controller. Actually, so I was talking. Okay, now I remember I did talk to him about this. They were starting to decommission that stuff.
Okay.
And I asked them, so hey, if you know of one that's being disposed of, send it my way. because I think you could probably tune it down. They
Yeah.
only run a couple watts. So, but I never remember hearing much more about that. And, that's a pipe dream. I don't have the real estate or the money or the family support to go down that road.
I knew a guy that had purchased a non-directional beacon from an airport, and then he was trying to sell it. But they're about 40 some feet tall, and then the guy wires had insulators on them, and a nice capacitive hat on the top. But
Interesting.
You could definitely makes one heck of a 160 meter antenna if you don't want to go all the way down to 630 with it.
Oh, so. Right. But every time we start talking about this, all I keep thinking of is Elf and the miles and miles of poles. That was at 60 hertz. That wasn't I think 430 kilohertz and 122 kilohertz are the frequency range. I have to double check that. I don't remember for sure, but
120 kilohertz is very, very low frequency. That's what they use now. But Project Elf was at 73 hertz.
Yeah, it was.
Or was it 73 kilohertz?
No, it was hertz.
73 hertz.
Yeah.
Because it was just above the 60 cycle hum.
Right.
Yeah, that was some pretty low stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that's gone. It probably did cause cancer. Probably causes Savannah syndrome too, if you know what that is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that could be.
Yeah. If there's someone in central Wisconsin that's actually successful on 630 and 2200, drop us a line. We would like to come out and see what you got.
Yep.
I would say that. Yeah.
Anybody in the I think Black Voodoo has to register with MSP, so he might be even if it's Eastern Minnesota, it's in the metro area.
Right. You might have to register with the CIA too, depending on where the number station is.
But anybody north of Chicago and east of the Twin Cities, if you're on 630 meters, let me know because we want to see it.
Yeah, I'd even go up to Duluth for that. I'd even go up to Duluth for it. Yeah.
So that's good. We gotta check this out though. So I see Mark was at the Bob Heil auction. I didn't know that was going on. That would have been cool.
Like a state auction?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, I wonder what they had there. Probably a couple microphones.
Maybe the pipe organ.
Oh. I ain't gonna say the joke. Not saying it. It's better than roses on the piano. Oh.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, there is one.
Oh, bring it up. Let's see.
I got Shulman auction. And come on. Okay, where's my cursor? Here we go. Bob Heil Vintage Radio Collection.
Oh wow.
This is for sale. It ends tonight. Oh, it just ended. Oh, we just missed it.
You spent all your money already, Michael. I can't afford anything.
I know. I just want to. I want to see what he's got. Should we whip through a couple of these pictures here?
Yeah.
Quick?
This is ham sexy right
Mosley.
here.
Yeah, we got our ham sexy going. And
what is that?
I don't know. There's it's a Helicrafters. I can't see it. I can't read it, but
R9A and a T90. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Central Electronics. There's a VFO unit. Oh, there's a Collins.
Collins 75.
Yep. It's a linear. Let's see if we can find. I'm just going to see if I can pick through some stuff. Oh, here's a scope for you.
I got rid of my station monitor. Yeah, my 520. I got rid of that years ago. That's either 520 or 820 vintage.
Okay. Here's another receiver. Variable frequency, a VFO for an ICO.
Yeah.
Nice stuff. Nice little board there. 10-band compressor. I don't think he's must be more. So hey, he's got some good stuff there. So
hey, even Bob Heil used MFJ. I see some MFJ stuff there.
Of course he did.
Must be mighty fine.
Yeah.
I don't see any headsets though. What's going on?
No. There's a microphone. There's a couple mics there. Icon mic. So, although most of the pictures I've seen, he was posed in front of his gold lines. So
yeah. Well,
that's
you got
cool.
him. He's selling them, or he was, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark says he was outside $1,200 on the RCA 77.
Oh, that's a lot of money for. Oh, that's a lot. It just.
This stuff is clean, though. Yeah, this stuff is clean.
I'm sure it's Bob. I'm sure it's all completely operating. Johnson hybrid phone patch.
Look at that thing. Neat. Look at it. Oh, it is so shiny.
No, but that's great. I only had a landline to hook it up to, right?
I got a landline still, so
still
I could be doing phone patches. Yeah. It comes through the fiber.
Is it actual landline, or is it VoIP?
It's a VoIP. It comes through the fiber now, but it's still my landline number from 1992.
Yeah.
So.
My parents about 5 years ago finally ditched the landline, and they still have the same phone number, but it's on a cell phone, and which is weird, but.
Well, I like the landline number because then it can things just go to the machine. So I don't want, that's the number I hand out to people. If then I can filter, I can just kind of screen my calls without having cell phone ring all the time.
That's the number you give out on any form you fill out online.
Yep. Yeah. Any form I fill out online, that's my city contact number, etc. So.
Yep. No, I hear you on that one. That's a little annoying after a while. But AT&T is actually really good. Their spam blocker is actually pretty good. Oh, other than the 10 political calls I was getting a day in October and November, I don't get a lot of telemarketers. If it is a telemarketer, it's marked telemarketer.
Yeah.
Or spam. So you can just hang up on them.
You get those. I get those dead calls, and usually the caller ID says like unlisted or it's just blank or something like that, and I know not to pick it up.
Yep.
So,
landline is for the telemarketers.
Hey,
I grew up. Until I was 8 or 9 years old, we still had a party line. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, my grandfather had a party line until the early 90s, 1990, when he had to. They gave him direct dial. So,
yeah, we had a party line in the late 80s. I'd say about 88 is when they put the new lines in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just came through the past year ago with my parents' place, and they put fiber in finally. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, it was. It was at the end there. There was only two people on the loop. It was him and his son, my uncle. So it's not like it was any big deal anymore. But they finally.
They could have just had like just one phone bill, really. No, that's just Martin's phone line back there,
That's right. All right. So, good deal. We're getting to the part of the show where I need to kind of pay the bills. So,
we've been rambling here for 30 minutes.
We've been rambling. No, we had some good stuff, though. This is good. But there's some very important people, our VIPs, that I always like to acknowledge, and that's our patrons over on Patreon. And we got some new ones in the month of December on the supporter level. Doug Draws, you kind of stuttering there. You. And Ed Turkowski.
You want to call yourself, and you're supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you much. Yeah. And on the friend level, Doug Baldwin. And of course, our associate producers are top level, and I acknowledge everybody all the time. So it's getting harder and harder to squeeze all these names, and I'm going to need a third card. Bill Jobs, Brian Liebig, Dave White, Don, Joel, John, Josh, Ken Epting, and a new one, Leonardo Bertinelli, and Larry Taylor, Lyle.
Second page?
Second page, yeah, 2 pages. Mark and Michael and Michael and Mark and Michael and Tim. Everybody, you can tell these Marks and Michaels are all about the same age because everybody that was born in the 60s and 70s was named Michael.
Yeah.
Christopher Krasinski and our new one, Kyle Salmon. So thank you so much. And we got some benefits over there on the Patreon side. You get early previews of all of the videos. Of course, if I do a Parks on the Air video, the full activation you can see because they're heavily edited. All that good stuff and more. Got a good little community over there. So you can find that over at to support the mission, educate and inspire over at patreon.com/KB9VBR antennas.
You can see the entire New Year's Rove that Michael and I did last week.
Yes.
Did we hit 7 parks?
We hit 7 parks. That'll be next week's video.
Yeah,
so.
I think it might be a 2-part video. There was a lot of footage.
There was a little
bit of dashboard confessional too.
Yep. It was good. So, so that'll be next week's video for sure because I got to break it down. But first, let's have a word from our sponsors. KB9 VBR antennas are simple, effective, and affordable VHF and UHF antennas for amateur radio, MERS, public safety, and GMRS. Made in the USA with quality parts. Get yours online at jpol-antenna.com. And I am caught up from the Christmas rush. So if you order an antenna, it probably will not be delayed, which is a good thing.
About a week off there between Christmas and New Year's and just kind of
things
putting the torch away, right?
Things kind of slow down between those 2 holidays because everybody's going to buy their stuff the first 2 weeks of December, so it's shipped and it arrives in time. So yeah, from about the 21st up until about 2-3 days ago, things just really slow down, which isn't bad because then I'm not rushing to try to fulfill those orders, and I get more family time.
Yeah, you need a little time to yourself too. A little meet. I mean, you get every weekend away though in the summer.
I try.
Yeah,
we try.
I mean, How many weekends did you go camping in 2024?
I think we definitely did about 40 nights of camping again.
Okay.
So we were out on June, July, and August. We were out practically every other week.
Yeah.
So
do you have a goal for 25? Have you got like a resolution for that? Like, you can try to do more? You can try to go someplace else this year? Try something different?
There are definitely things that we want to do that we haven't gotten to yet. I'll try to. At the very least, we'll probably try to hit 1 or 2 more state parks that we haven't camped in yet. Always looking for those new Parks on the Air entities. There's some familiar favorites that we've already booked for this next year. So we've got that already squared away. Christine really wants to explore more of Minnesota. A special. So that's kind of on the list. On the list too. Of course, we're going to be going to Hamvention again, so that'll be a full week. Let's see. Yeah, Clutch says, he's got us on ham alert when you do POTA, but I can never hear you in Southeast Wisconsin. 40 meters has been kind of poor lately, so I haven't been on 40 a whole lot during the daylight hours.
Yeah, that's. I mean, now might not be too bad, but
yeah. That's definitely the if you're in Milwaukee land, Southeast Wisconsin, 40 meters is where you got to be. Although this last Monday I got W9AV Clint. And I think he was at home in Madison. I don't think he said he was at his vacation spot in Muscadet on 20-meter ground wave. So it is possible.
Was that the one that I was with? I was with you on that one?
We got him twice. I got him, last Saturday when we were out, we got him on 17.
Yeah, but we were really close. We were only an hour away from Madison.
Yeah, so, we were, because we were closer to, we were just north of Watoma. So that was a little over an hour's drive. Monday when I was out Tuesday when I was out New Year's Eve, I was north of Merrill, but that was on 20 meters.
Yeah, so that's significantly farther. Merrill is probably 150 miles at least from Madison.
Yeah, it's about 125 from Wausau to Madison, so it's got to be about 145 probably. Yeah,
quite a bit. Okay,
so a little bit more. Yeah. So so we're definitely going to be looking. We try to get some new places to go to. Speaking of Milwaukee, I think we're going to be taking our midwinter cabin fever break. We're going to go downtown Milwaukee and check some stuff out. So maybe, I might have to do some VHF simplex.
Maybe you'll activate the statue of the Fonz.
Hey! No, but we will be
park. Which park? American Family Park.
We are gonna. My goal is to get down to Lakeshore State Park, which is behind the Summerfest grounds, and you can twofer the Hank Aaron Trail. So hopefully, that'll be.
Trail. I did not know that there was a Hank Aaron Trail.
Yeah, it's a bike trail that goes away from the lake, west to past the domes, the stadium, into the edge of Stallis there. So
interesting.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good size trail actually.
Yeah. Well, hey, any twofer is a good twofer, right?
That's right. All right. Let's see. We got some questions here, and then we're gonna move into a couple of events here. So start out with let's see. Oh, I lost it. Are there any guidelines for running a 71-foot end-fed random wire antenna in a really small backyard? I was thinking about running it around a portion of my fence perimeter. You can do that. I've got a really small backyard. It's standard city lot, 60-ish by about 120 feet.
But his back porch is really big, guys.
Front porch is big.
It brings all the milkshake or boys to the yard.
Yep.
Anyway,
so I got a 71-foot random wire antenna shoehorned in along the long side of the property. So the box sits in the garden plots along the side of the house, and then the counterpoise goes forward towards the front of the lot. And then the wire slopes upwards 71 feet until it terminates at the back property line into a tree that's in the corner there. So if you can put
a dog leg in it, you can zigzag, but you can't loop back around. Once you start looping it back around, then you start having some problems.
Yeah,
you can get pretty creative with that as long as if you're using insulated wire. You ain't gonna have too many problems with branches. So you can play around a little bit. It's gonna compromise some things, but see how it goes.
It'll throw your pattern a little bit. But if you do a sloper, you remember then that kind of forms a triangle. So the hypotenuse is always the longest piece of the triangle. So that takes up a little bit of space. And then you can, you can dog leg it. So if you're if you've hit the property line and you've got a fence line, you could follow the fence line or something like that. That might be an option.
Yeah.
So,
Remember, height is key. If you can get it higher, that's going to help a lot.
yep, exactly. So, all right. Keith has got a question about the feed point on the J-pole antenna. Is there a reason for the way you connect the feed line to the center conductor on the short stub? Yes, there is. And the reason is that it creates a more, the way in which I attach my feed point is I'm directly soldering the SO239 connector to the metal pipe itself. I'm not using any kind of rivets or straps or anything of that nature. I'm doing direct soldering. And if I solder the edge of that UHF connector onto the longer piece, I think that makes for a more mechanically sound connection than doing it sort of the other way around. And you can do that because actually it doesn't really make a difference if you're feeding into the short part, the matching section part, or if you're feeding into the longer part, because you got to remember the J-pole style antenna is two components. It's the half wave radiator, and then at the base is the quarter wave matching section. And so the half wave works as a half wave, as any half wave should. The quarter wave part, because there's two parallel segments of it, they kind of, each one is sort of out of phase of each other. And by virtue of those sections being two different phases of each other, it doesn't matter how they're fed. If the center, the feed goes into the short stubby part, or if it goes into the long part.
Yeah. KE0OG describes the J-pole antenna as a half wave long wire fed with ladder line. Think of it that way. That matching section is not much different than ladder line, and we find where we get 50 ohms on that.
Yep.
But whatever way, if you have the center to the long end or to the short end, it doesn't matter. It will perform the exact same way.
Exactly. And if I read here, let's see.
Oh, is this from the Antenna Bible?
Yes, it's from Rod Hemmel's Antenna book.
Oh, you have that chapter and verse marked. Do you read that every morning? Your morning devotional?
J Antennas,
yeah.
Page. Let me see if I can find the line here.
And the Lord said.
And the Lord said.
In German, by the way.
Yes, of course, because God sprachen sie Deutsch when.
Ja, das ist gut.
Let's see if I can find the.
If you can't find it, you're gonna have to say 10 Hail Marys.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I got it. I know I've got it written down. I got to look at my notes here. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see. And yeah, okay. Yep, Rod Hemmel's Antenna book, page 13th edition, page 777. The author states that feeding both the short and the long sides of the antenna are electrically equivalent, yet a configuration where the short side is direct fed provides improved over voltage protection because the half wave section is directly grounded via the outer cable conductor. So parenthetically, this method also helps reduce overall noise floors of the antennas by dissipating static to ground. So there are benefits, as quoted by the antenna book here by Rothemel, for.
So saith the shepherd. So saith the Michael.
Yes.
You got the incense burner?
We'll light some capacitors.
It's like midnight mass all over again.
Yeah. All right. So we got some people giving us some suggestions about the end-fed random wire. Mark says zigzag up and down and back again.
Yep.
So.
Yep. As long as you're not coming back like
Yep.
180 degrees back, you should be fine.
And if you got a tree, get out the fishing rod and give it the best cast over the top. So.
Yeah, I got the slingshot. We showed that last month, right?
Yes.
That slingshot is the money shot, guys. And it's like $100. But I got it 50 feet into a tree the first shot.
All right.
Just about right where exactly where I was aiming. Like I've never done that. I think for Winter Field Day, I'm going to bring that slingshot out. As long as it's not 20 below and it snaps in my face again.
Yeah.
One of our first videos.
Mm-hmm. You had a slingshot for a dog toy, and
oh God,
the rubber snapped. It was so cold.
Well, it was old too, but yeah, and it's at 20 below. It really stings. Oh God, the things we used to do to get antennas in the air.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Winter Field Day is coming up on January 25th and 26th.
Did you actually print those?
Huh?
You printed the rules?
I printed the rules.
You have a printer?
I got a printer. Yeah.
Do you have to like get out the set all the type and then just anyways, moving on.
Yeah, no, I got a laser printer. So
okay. I have to. I'm just making fun of it.
Well, I'll tell you a story about the lead type a little later on. So, but we'll get to.
Okay.
So we'll get to Field Day first, and this is like the 6th year that Winter Field Day has in its current no, excuse me, it's been longer than 6 years. It's I think this is about the 4th year of the current incarnation, but it's been running for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Before that,
a couple different groups that have run it over.
A couple different groups that have run it, and then the current organization has been running it for the past 4 years, and they've really looked at how the event has sort of grown, and have actually sat down and come up with quite a few changes to the rules this year. So if you've been a participant in Winter Field Day in the past years, you might find some changes that, for better or worse, might make your life easier, or you might say, well, what the... but notable changes this year for Winter Field Day. Number one, the event times have been changed. Like Summer Field Day, used to start at 1800 Zulu, 1 o'clock local, Central Time, and run for 24 hours straight. It no longer does that. They moved it ahead to 1600 Zulu, and then it'll run until 21:59 UTC on Sunday the 26th. So you get almost like 30 hours of field day goodness.
Okay, so can you put that in the time zone that put man on the moon for me?
So Central Time,
Hulu stuff.
Yeah, so Central Time, that would be like 10 a.m.
Oh.
So, no, wait, 11 a.m. Excuse me, 11 a.m.
Well, still, so I also understand that they changed it. We can set up the night before now, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So setup will begin on Friday, the 25th, or excuse me, on Friday, and I don't know what time it starts on, but you can set up on Friday, and it doesn't penalize you anymore. The reason why they kind of moved to that earlier start time is that people on the West I think it was people on the West Coast, or no, excuse me, people on the East Coast didn't really have much time to, if they were going to be outside in a park or something like that. Dusk came so early, they hardly had any time at all to really participating in it. Moving it a couple hours gave them some extra operational time during the daylight hours.
Right. It gives people a chance to run 10, 15, 20 meters more.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really your bread and butter until you get into the evening.
Yep, exactly. Another big change this year is locations do not have to remain fixed during the entire event.
So if you burn down your tent, you can go somewhere else.
You could set up for a couple hours in one spot. You could move to another spot. Now you must keep the exchange the same the whole time. But say you could, but with this kind of situation, you could operate in a park for several hours, and then you could go home or to a second location.
Park to park.
Or park to park to park. Yeah, something like that.
Maybe double it up as it parks on the air row.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now you don't get extra points for extra parks, but if you're trying to get a kilo at a park or something, or a couple of parks, hey, that might be a bad opportunity.
That might be an opportunity. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Previously they had what were called objectives, which were like bonuses. Mm-hmm. They're not called bonuses anymore. Now they're running under multipliers.
Right.
And there's quite a few multipliers that you can do. I'm just going to pull up the rules here, and let's see. Objectives: 100% alternative power. That'll give you a multiplier of 1. Not much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 1 point. You add all your multipliers together for a complete multiplier score.
Uh-huh.
Operate away from home. That gives you 3 points. Deploy multiple antennas. That gives you a point.
Okay.
FM satellite contact. You get 2 points. Sideband or CW satellite contact gives you 3 points.
Whoa.
Send in WinLink email. You get a point.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah. And then this is something new. Copy the Winter Field Day special bulletin. They're going to run bulletin stations this year. If you can copy that, you'll get a point. Operate on 6 different bands. You get 6 points. So
if you do 80, 40, 20, 15, 10, you got to get one more band in there.
Yeah.
Either 160, 6.2 or something.
Or something like that.
Be a big one there.
Exactly. Yeah. Multiple modes, 2 points.
6 meter contact. That would kick it in right there.
You could do 6 meter contact, yeah. Or get somebody on 2 meter simplex. So it would have to be somebody not participating, of course, in the event.
Right. You can't send your buddy up to the hill with a 900 megahertz radio and make contact.
We've never done that before.
No.
And then let's see. Operate QRP 4 points. Operate 6 continuous hours 2 points. So you add those all up, and the highest number of multipliers you can have is 26. So that goes to that is assessed again towards your score. So which is really cool. Of course, things are still the same. 100 watts peak envelope power. Everybody's using the same call sign. It's for spotting. You can spot, but this is interesting. They only allow, let's see, RF spotting. So if you're going to spot yourself, you got to figure out how to do it over RF. But QSOs may be solicited only over RF.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do a parks on the air kind of thing with Winter Field Day, you're going to have to figure out how you can spot yourself via RF.
Well, didn't someone figure out how to do it via APRS?
there's there's ways to do it APRS, sending messages. There's a program called SodaMat, which allows you to send a spot via FT8, JS8 call. So that would be an option too, because that's going out
RF.
Yep.
Okay.
So
well, that's interesting. I don't know if that's going to help you that much, but okay.
Well, if you're looking for the parks on the air aspect, so usually there's enough activity during winter field day if that you don't need to really spot yourself, because
there's enough activity that weekend.
Yeah.
Solar storm.
And of course, digital modes, you can use no repeaters, but digital modes are allowed, with the exception of FT4, FT8. Because, that's been a rule since day one.
Yep. And I am sick of hearing people complain about it.
Yep. But yeah, it's because the FT8 payload cannot carry the entire winter field day exchange. It's not in an acceptable mode. So there's that. But
what is the full exchange?
It is just like regular field day. It would be your location identifier, your class, your location identifier, and I think your number of operators. Okay. So, we were always like 2I. Yeah, we were 2I Wisconsin. So,
but that's no different than what you would have for field day, and field day allows FT8.
I don't. Yeah, it's.
Oh my God! Oh, it's a conspiracy.
Oh, we're not going to go down this. You know
what really grinds my gear? No.
Yeah. We got some question. Looks like we got some stuff here. Let's see. Kevin says, yeah, park to park movement. He likes that. I like that too. I think that's a really cool thing that you can do for winter field day. And of course, the VHF, UHF count as bands. So if you're looking to get those, coordinate with somebody. If you know somebody that's not participating, get them on Simplex so you can get those 3 bands, and then all you need are 3 more bands on HF.
If you got an active VHF, UHF in your area, Simplex, then you're set. Where we usually activate, we don't have that option very much. So.
Yep. So, so what are we doing for winter field day?
So we in the past, we've always really kind of roughed it. No power, no wood heat. Middle of nowhere, no internet, freezing our what off. We're old. I turned 45 soon, and we don't even want to say the number Michael's at. We're old. So we got a cabin, like an actual cabin with power, automatic. It has Wi-Fi. I just got a verification email on it.
Oh, nice.
It's on a lake. It's in rural Adams County, Wisconsin. It's going to be luxurious compared to what we've done in the past. And we've been in some pretty shitty shacks over the years.
Oh, we have.
Part of my friend. This is a family show, but we've really been in some
hellholes.
Yeah, we've been in a granite or a rock pit before operating. Okay, I mean, you could see when the wind blew, you could see it come through the shack. The shack that we had out in Withy was miles ahead of that, of course.
Yes.
But this is going to be truly lap of luxury. There's a refrigerator. There's a full
Hey, nice.
right? We're gonna eat good. We're gonna have good time. We're gonna have soft beds and be recovered. There will be no libation. I mean, yeah, there'll be libations. It's field day, right? But we're going to do it a little bit different. But I think because we have Wi-Fi this year, Michael, I think you had a plan that we will be doing a live stream.
We'll be live streaming. If we've got solid Wi-Fi connection, we'll live stream our Winter Field Day from the Lap of Luxury.
Yes.
So
yes, you'll see our Golden Thrones. Apparently this place even has room service. I mean, like they come and clean up after we're done, right? Holy smokes. We're at like the Ritz-Carlton, I think.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to trying to set up a live stream though. So, and it should be a lot of fun.
Hopefully it's stay below outside because I just want to sit inside and laugh this year.
Well, we got to get the antennas up though.
So. Well, yeah, but like we're really good at getting antennas up now.
Yes.
Like, remember 5-6 years ago, other than like slingshots hitting my face, trying to put end feds up really low hung. Oh God, we had some just terrible antennas back then.
Oh yeah.
We're like professionals now.
The antenna part we've actually got, of everything, the antenna part's probably the one thing we've kind of got figured out.
Yeah. We got to remember. You always got to remember our bandpass filters. Don't forget those.
Oh, we got plenty of those. And
Travis is going to make it this year. I haven't heard from him like in 3-4 weeks, so I don't know if he's even alive.
I heard he was on Christmas break. We saw him. I heard him occasionally, but
okay. Yeah, well, hopefully he makes it down. So we got 3 of us, and we're gonna make it happen.
That'd be nice. So cool. I'm looking forward to it. So I think what we'll probably do. Last year we ran an 80-meter end-fed half-wave antenna. It was 130 some feet long, and that was really good for the low band stuff. So we'll probably do something multi-band that'll get us on the low bands at night, and then a vertical of some sort for
probably the Riberkoff or the Riberkoff with the 30 or the horizontal extension.
Yeah, that would be a great Winter Field Day antenna.
We got plenty of trees and we got plenty of room to do this. So we can probably run both of those, and we're on a lake, so we could it kind of goes downhill, so we can kind of play that to our advantage.
So we got some good options.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. So it's antenna with things like this, with like Summer Field Day and Winter Field Day, antenna efficiency is important. So think about that when you're putting your plan together. You don't want to have something that's gonna eat up too much power, especially if you're thinking of going for that QRP multiplier.
Right. Don't put up a 15-meter dipole and expect to work everything, guys.
We tried that. It doesn't work.
Oh, God. Remember that 160-meter thing that you tried putting up once?
Oh, yeah.
20 feet off the ground. That worked poorly.
Yep, that's for sure. So, All right. George is asking a question here. Where can I get the right size Faraday cloth? Amazon has got
size.
Yeah, Amazon's got them. 3 yards is what I use. That's 42 by 108 inches.
Or just go to your hardware store and get some screen door mesh.
Window screen works too. Yep.
Window screen works just fine. Someone asked earlier, what's the best one to get? There isn't a good one. They're all the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're all pretty.
Yeah, the Faraday cloth, I find it just kind of starts to fray real quick. There's nothing you can do about that. I guess you can tape the edges of it, but it's just gonna keep fraying.
You gotta,
right?
Yeah.
But
your wife sews, doesn't she hem it for you?
She knits, and she makes me spend her free time doing something for my antenna. Okay.
Of
But
course.
realistically, someone asks, what's the best one? There isn't a best one. They're all the same.
Yeah, they pretty much are.
Just get something cheap that works, and then when you wear it out because you've done so many activations, working good, spend another $20.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So, all right. Let's see. Refresh. Just got a 17-foot whip. I appreciate all the help. He's taking his extra exam tomorrow, so wish him luck. So
all right, hey, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, best of luck there, Refresh, and I know you'll do good. So if you've been watching my videos, I know you'll do good. Jay says the first time I've caught you guys live. Love the videos. So glad you're in the house this evening.
Yep, I'm glad someone loves us.
Someone loves us. Hey, we do have a couple other. We were talking about events in January, and Clutch is reminding us that Support Your Parks weekend is coming up, and that's actually the weekend before Winter Field Day. It's January 18th and 19th, I do believe.
Yes. So get out there and support your parks, no matter how cold it is.
Yep. So Support Your Parks weekend, of course, it's an activity, sort of. I don't want to really say sponsored because there's not like prizes or anything. That it's just sort of, it's sort of an event that Parks on the Air throws on to get a lot of people outside. We do it 4 times a year, spring, summer, winter, and fall, and just gets a lot of activity to promote the Parks on the Air program, getting outside, being ham radioactive, things like that, and it's a lot of fun, especially the winter Support Your Parks weekend. You guys down south, you probably have it. This is your enjoyable time because it's not god awful hot, but
it's not 100 degrees with 95% humidity. So
yeah, us Northerners, it's a different story. It's just like everything is inverted. It just gets just terribly cold, and it's they're talking about a big cold snap through the middle of January, so it should be interesting.
Antennas don't work unless you put them up in the middle of January when it's 30 below.
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's in rough pebbles.
Yeah.
What's in there?
And Support Your Parks weekend is the same weekend as the January VHF contact. So, and the really nice thing, I was reading a little bit about propagation today because I was trying to get a feeling of how winter propagation was kind of moving forward, and there 6 meters actually works quite well during the winter months because of not so much you do get a higher instance of sporadic E in the months of like January and February when it gets very cold out. The F layer doesn't energize so much, especially in the northern latitudes, because because you don't have as many daylight hours, and that does help benefit 6 meters to a bit.
Interesting.
So
it's still daytime though, not night.
It's still daytime. It's still daytime. Yeah. Especially for the northern latitudes. So, whereas the summer VHF contest might rely a lot on tropoducting, in the winter months you get a lot more sporadic E. So,
okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so when the trees in my backyard came down, I have a 6 meter ground plane. I had to bring down. I haven't used it in a while, but it's down. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't put that up for Winter Field Day as well, because we got to get that 6th band. So hey, let's do this, guys. Everyone who's going to do Winter Field Day, that's listening here, let's plan something. Spur of the moment here. Afternoon Saturday, let's all get on 6 meters for call for an hour.
There we go.
Like after lunch, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, wherever you're at, get on and call for an hour. See what happens. Right? Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'll have the 897 because I run full power for contests. I mean, this isn't a contest, but so we'll run 6 meters. We'll have a little fun with it. I haven't been on 6 in a long time, so let's see what we can do.
Yeah, see if we can hear somebody. Yeah. Sounds like a plan to me.
Yep, got to get that 6th band because that's a lot of multipliers right there, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll put you in charge. I'll probably be racking them in on 20 or 15 or something like that if it's in the afternoon. So.
Oh, look at you! Yeah, you're
so.
Yeah, but we don't have the club call hooked up to all the ham alert stuff, so no one's gonna know who you are.
W9NA. Everybody, get that in your ham alert.
No,
Whiskey
not today. Which call do we? I think we use Travis's club call. Don't we?
Did we use Travis's?
Yeah, NA is the.
It's the club. The club. Travis's is N9 CNF.
CNF. Yeah, I think
that's the one we used last year. Yeah.
So N9 CNF, get that one in your club.
Get N9 CNF. Yep, you'll want that. You'll want that anyway, because if Travis is on the air, he's probably using it. So,
yes.
Yeah. So, yep, we got somebody else see us on 6. So we'll send out some messages. We'll see if we can coordinate things. So definitely. Yeah. And then speaking of VHF. We all know Michael's voice. We don't need no stinking ham alert.
I swear to God, guys. So I'm going to say it again. So last weekend, me and Michael went on a roll, and it's every other contact. Oh, I love your show. I love your show. I watch all the time. He gets like 150 contacts at a park, and half of them are all watching us. It's insane.
It's crazy. So, speaking of VHF, there is another event that's going on the month of January, and it just started yesterday. So we're right on top of it. And that is Winter Heat. And this is the thing this is their 6th year of operation with Winter Heat. It's a month-long VHF, UHF simplex event. Started January 1st, runs through the end of the month. And last year, 785 participants made over 214,000 contacts.
Holy smoke, that's almost 250,000 contacts.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So they've got a lot of sort of, they've kind of hit a critical mass with this thing, because it started in central Illinois. A couple of guys said, it's January, it's cold out. Let's see what we can do on 2 meters and see how many people we can contact. And it just kind of spread from there. All of a sudden, Illinois was doing it. Then you started attracting people in Missouri and Indiana and stuff like that. And it just kind of growing from there. And once you get registered for this, they do have a leaderboard. And you can see maps. They don't have. I'm not signed in here, so I can't see the maps or anything. But you can kind of see, how people are stacking up and where the contacts, even where the heat, the heat map, the winter heat map, where you can see how those contacts are being made on 2 meter simplex. So it's pretty crazy. So
yeah, and the thing is, it's all FM.
All FM.
Analog, or if it's a digital mode, you can use any of them as long as you're not using a repeater.
Yep.
So you have the equipment, probably just need a mobile FM radio.
Yep. And you can do it with a vertical whip, or you can be fancy and get yourself, a nice Yagi going on there, and make some, rotate, spin it around and see who you can get. Because like I said,
I got the Cushcraft 13B2. We could get that out.
There we go.
I don't know what we popped it up with.
Yeah. So, it's here again. Sporadic E. It happens. It happens in January. You can get some tropo in January too. Especially because if it's cold at ground level and you get that sort of that warm air loft, it's still a, it's still a possibility, but
still an inversion.
Yeah, the air, winter air has, I don't know, people say it's got less density in it, so actually signals can travel further or something like that. But that's always a possibility too. You always hear weird stuff at night on VHF, when the band opens up in weird ways. So
yeah, I wish
check it out.
We had a 4-meter band, because that would be interesting to see what it does in the winter.
Oh yeah,
but we
absolutely.
don't TV instead. So
yeah,
TV, yuck.
So that's winter heat, hamactive.com. You'll find it there. Pretty cool event. So I think that's about everything that's happening for event wise in the month of January. January is a popular month. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we're gonna be busy. February is gonna be the quiet month.
Yeah. Well, I got the Minnesota QSO party, but then after that it kind of settles down until the Wisconsin QSO party.
Right, yeah. Someone asked, you're going to do your role for the Minnesota QSO party again, aren't you?
Yes and no. So Dave's talking about doing something a little bit different this year.
Okay.
Because with Minnesota, if we're roving, we can only have a single transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
So one has to drive and then the other one's on the air. Mm-hmm. But if we are stationary, we can do a multi-transmitter operation.
Oh.
So Dave is thinking, well, why don't we just set up in one park in Minnesota and just operate from the same spot all day long, and we can do it as a multi.
Okay.
Even though we're working out of a vehicle, we're still going to be, we'll just be a multi. Just enter the multi-transmitter category.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
What goes?
He thinks we can hit 1,000 contacts doing that.
Well, so. Dave is the guy. I mean, the breakdown, how many points, how many multipliers, how this affects that affects that. Dave's that guy.
Yep.
Like if you want to be a serious contester, like Dave knows the math.
He's been working the math like crazy, and he's found that our biggest time killer is moving, is transitioning from one location to the next, because that just kills our rate. So
the one thing I always thought would be is to have someone moving ahead of you and get your antennas set up.
Oh, so yeah.
Pull in, plug in, and go, and then you got to have someone behind doing your sweep, because no one says you can't do that, right?
No.
Right? So if you had someone setting up the antennas in front of you, I mean, that saves 10, 15 minutes every day. Right? But then you just got to find two jerks that are willing to go and sweep up behind you.
Yeah.
Just say it.
And actually that wouldn't be that difficult, because the routes we usually pick are relatively compact. So you're not driving, more than 20 minutes to get from one spot to the next. So.
Right. Yeah. And if you stay at one park long enough, the guy that goes and sets your antennas up and go back and get the other ones, then move them to the next park. Right. Mm-hmm. Then you have to set some antennas.
Yeah.
Oh, this is technical. You need like a PhD for this.
The logistics. So kind of like the guy with the shovel in the horse parade.
Been there.
There's a reason why in the circus parade the elephants are always last. Oh, Dave's got it figured out. See, I knew it. The wives are going to do cleanup.
So February Ham Radio Q&A will be a memorial show to Dave.
Ham Radio roadies.
He's gonna get a couple at a ham bench and he'll rope them into it.
Yeah.
A couple of feeble-minded techs.
Oh my gosh.
Can we even put that on?
It's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse and worse.
Am I gonna be the guy like run at the door in the backstage? Like, can I see your laminate?
Gonna have to have the passes around your neck and
name tags.
Your name tags.
Look, you got an Aries badge?
tour shirts. I'm gonna have to make tour. I'm gonna have to create up tour shirts or something.
And on the back, the list of parks for 2025. Actually, this might be a moneymaker, Michael. This might be a moneymaker. So we'll have to find it. We'll have to find some sort of something to donate it to. But we should do that next fall. How many parks do we activate this summer? And then we'll do the tour shirt, the KB9 VBR summer tour.
There we go.
Those will sell like hotcakes.
They would. That would be funny. Oh, yeah. Check one.
That's like 1, 2, 3.
Kerchunk away.
Kerchunk away. It's the frequency in use.
It's the frequency in use. There we go.
Oh my God.
Oh.
We're in so much trouble.
Yeah. That would be terrible. Terrible. So
all right, moving along. So all right. Got a couple messages here. Todd Shook is asking, Poda Go Bag. He's building a portable radio box for camping. And he says, been used to throwing a wire into trees, but looking at verticals to try. What has been your antenna preference while Poda or camping? So, favorite antennas for parks on the air. And famously, I like to carry 2 antennas. I like to carry a wire antenna with me of some sort, a multiband wire, and a multiband vertical of some sort. Mm-hmm. And if I'm camping, typically what I'm going to set up is like a 71-foot end-fed random wire antenna. Put that up for the entire weekend. I've got 10 through 80 meters with the use of an external tuner, and it works really good. I've gotten 10 bands in a park over a weekend in the summer months, doing that camping. Mm-hmm. Vertical antennas, my favorites tend to be the quarter wave vertical. Ground mounted, with the Faraday cloth. That's what we used, Joe, when we were roving last week. We relied heavily on that quarter wave vertical for the upper bands. You can throw the Sporty 40 coil on it for 40 meters. If you want more bands, I've been leaning more towards that Ribikov style antenna. That's with the stainless steel whip, 25 feet. With the 4-to-1 transformer, and then you use a tuner for that, and you can get down to 80 meters with that. And you wouldn't even need a 25-foot whip. You can just use 25 feet of wire.
Exactly.
4-to-1 balance,
mm-hmm.
Right? So if you're going to make a really go bag, a 9-to-1 balun, a 4-to-1 balun, a 25-foot length of wire, and a 71-foot length of wire.
Yes.
You have two, and you have a vertical. You have a horizontal end-fed style. If you want to do the Ribikov with the extension, just throw more wire, right?
Yep.
You could even clip it on, do something. You can get real crazy if you want to get power pole connectors to connect them together. Yeah. That would be, stupid easy. You have 2 sets of wire. In there, you have a couple of those the LDG baluns are $30 a piece, and they're a good investment, especially if you're going to do parks and stuff. And then 25 feet of coax. You're set.
Couple 25s. Get 2 25s because then you've got a spare piece.
Or a 25 and a 50 if you got a little bit farther away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and get the orange coax. Why? It's a lot easier to see, and you won't trip over it at 2 a.m. when you have to get out of the tent. You know what I mean?
You like that DX Engineering orange coax?
That orange coax is like the best thing I've ever bought.
Yeah.
You won't go home with it. It's always going to come home with me.
Yep, you know your coax.
Come home with yours.
But that actually is a really great idea. Just have yourself some blank transformers, and then just some simple sets of wire. So, and you could if you think about wire lengths, you could mix and match, because like your 25-foot wire could be the counterpoise for the 71-foot antenna or something.
Absolutely.
Like
that. Chameleon's MCOM3 is basically that. It's 75 feet of wire with a 25 foot. And so, but 71 with a 25 foot is going to be damn near perfect. Right?
Yep.
So you can use that. You could take the 75 footer. So what's the total length of the Rivercloth with the extension on it?
It's 50. I'm using 53 feet. So it would be the 25 feet plus 28. So in an L configuration.
So realistically, what you could do is you could strip a piece of bare copper out of that at 53 feet. That could be your loading point for the balun, and that remaining couple feet that you got to wind back up and coil up, basically fold it up upon itself, and then it doesn't act as part of the antenna, right?
Yeah.
Or you could do it with a 71-foot piece of wire. You could have two antennas.
You know that 53, if you trim that 53 footer down to, so that, just take a few feet out of it. So instead of 53 feet, it was 49 foot. It would still work just fine.
Yeah. And 49 is a good random wire length too, isn't it?
Good random wire length. Yeah, absolutely. So that would give you a little bit more versatility.
Yeah. And if you're using like the Zygoot G90, which is really becoming my Parks in the Air rig, that little tuner on there that'll tune a wet noodle even in a desert.
Most rigs, their internal tuners will give you only a 3-to-1 match, but that Zygoot tuner just goes up to 10-to-1 or some insane number.
It's stupid good.
Yeah.
And even if you're running a little bit higher SWR with only 20 watts, we'll just crank it down to 10, because then you don't really have that much reflected power coming back.
Yep.
So you can really play with that Zygoot or some of these other, the cheap Chinese radios are starting to get kind of good.
Yeah, it's Dave loves his G90. It's a good little radio, and I might have to get one myself. But
it's not. I mean, I know it's the foul thing of HF radios, but it's bad. It's not like $25. We'll say that.
No. Yeah. So they're not that expensive. 400, 450, sometimes a little less if they're on sale. So it's a good value.
Yeah. And Dave just pointed out right here, 90% of POTA is fixated on 20 meters and up. 20 meters particularly. So the 17-foot whip fully extended, whether it's Wolf River Coil, whether it's Chameleon, or you find one, no name, is more than enough for a couple hours in a park. Because 9 times out of 10 during the day, you're not even on 40. So really that is perfect. And you could do a 17-foot piece of wire with like a little 1-to-1 balun, basically converting it from coax to wire. Okay. Again, we were talking about this a couple months ago when we first did National Parks on the Air in 2016, how much we struggled with antennas.
Oh yeah.
So easy now. We've come light years ahead for portable operations. Yeah. Mike says,
the 7300 does have that emergency mode. It will kick its tuner into I don't know what it does to the tuner, but if you reduce the power, you can match higher than 3-to-1 with the emergency mode.
It's like nitrous.
So you drop the power down, you use the emergency mode, and I think it'll go up to 9-to-1, but so
that's crazy.
That's with the 7300. we had a couple other, let's see. Yep. Chameleon, TDL, the tactical delta loop, and the Wolf River Coil are the go-dos. The tactical delta loop's great on the upper bands. So that's
my only complaint about Wolf River Coil, and it's not even a complaint, is that the tripod is just not wide enough.
Yes.
I think those legs are only about 12 inches long, and it blows over. So Michael's got it's not even a camera tripod, it's a flag tripod.
It's a flag base, but it's super heavy, yeah.
Yeah, that thing does not blow over. It's a pain in the butt to get out, but
Yep.
It's got 4 legs, so you only have 2 hands. A three-legged tripod, you can like flop one leg out and you can pull the other 2. But the 4-legged one, it was hard to work, but it didn't blow over.
No,
for the most part. So,
yep, that is true. So, okay, somebody had a question here about common mode chokes. Let me see. Do if I can find it. Yep. Clutch. Do you use a common mode choke when running POTA? Depends on the antenna I'm operating, but a lot of times I'll throw the common mode choke in, especially if I'm using something like the POTA Performer antenna. And the simplest common mode choke, you can do the ugly balun, several wraps of coax, and then tape together. I've got the MFJ 915 choke, which is this PVC tube with a series of ferrites wrapped around coax inside of it. Well, MFJ is no longer in business, but Palomar Engineering makes common mode chokes that you can either get coax wrapped around a ferrite. You can get the ones that are heat shrunk onto the coax, or they make big, hefty legal limit ones too.
Yeah.
So there's.
I think Chameleon also makes one. It's a 10-foot piece of RG8X.
Yep.
It's got chokes that are heat shrink down there as well.
Yeah, they do. They actually, I think they resell the choke that's manufactured by ABR Industries. So ABR, I think, is private labeling that choke for them. Because I've noticed, the ABR, usually when their Chameleon's coax usually has the ABR stamp on it.
Okay.
So, yeah, in fact, ABR coax can be ordered with the ferrites on it. It's the same stuff that Chameleon sells.
Yeah.
So,
and you can just get a 10-foot chunk of that and put a barrel connector on there and choke.
Yep. And could you use a 1-to-1 balun as a common mode choke? Yes, you could. Well, yeah. In effect, it's the 1-to-1 balun does the same thing as a common mode choke. As a balun, you're kind of transitioning from, say, like a balanced feed line, like window line or ladder line, into a balanced and unbalanced, or a balanced antenna to an unbalanced feed line like coax. So a balun is balanced to unbalanced. So it'd be coax transitioning to which is unbalanced, to a balanced antenna like a dipole. And the 1-to-1 balun does in fact operate as a common mode choke in those cases. So.
Oh, Mike, N2MAK, ABR coax is 20% off for a few more days.
Yeah. There we go. If you're looking for a good deal on a common mode choke, get those ABR assemblies 20% off. So I wonder if I can find that quick. Let's see. We'll pull it up here, and I'll show you. This is the stuff you're going to want to get. Consumer and ferrite assemblies.
Hey, there we go.
This stuff right here.
Yeah.
And you can choose your type of cable. The 223. You can have a PL259 on one end, and an SO239 on the other end, and they're $58. So, which is actually, that's about what I paid, like $50 for my MFJ chokes. So,
no, that ain't too
that's
bad.
a good deal. Yeah. I don't know.
It's high quality. It ain't junk.
Nope. Good stuff. So
yeah,
consider
Mark or Mike. I'm sorry. If there is a code we got to put in, because I don't think that reflects the discount, 20% discount.
Yeah, I don't know if Mike's around, if he knows about. I didn't see anything on their website, so saying about the discount. So I don't know if there's a code or anything. We'll have to kind of look. Yeah, where the coupon is, or if this is automatically calculated.
Yeah,
good question.
No, that's a good one. I might actually look into that. So
I might order one quick.
Yeah,
just to have a spare.
Right, that fits right into the little red boxes.
Oh,
absolutely.
No code. Sale until January 6th.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Okay. Sweet. So this must be the discounted price.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah. Everybody's going to go crazy on that.
Yeah. Oh, got it. And I left the wallet upstairs. I can't do it while I'm on the air, right? Joe, why is your credit card up on the screen?
Yeah. It's similar pricing from other products in reputable companies. Yeah, it's good. ABR. I use ABR coax. It's good stuff. This is a deal. So, like ABR, I said,
DX Engineering, those are all good sources.
Yeah, and when I bought my MFJ isolator, I spent that much. I spent $50 anyways. So that's what they cost. So,
yeah, I would say like you get this, you get the LF. I can't talk today. LFG balance. I mean, you're in $100, $120, but man, you have so many different possibilities. And then just buy cheap wire, right? I mean, try to get machine tool wire, MTW type wire. Don't use THHN because it's just a pain in the butt to coil up.
Especially when it gets cold.
Yeah, if you can get the Teflon stuff, more power to you. That's pricey. But MTW wire is available at most, be available at all like electrical supply houses. You probably can't find it at Home Depot though. You can get hookup wire too. Yeah.
This silicon stuff, you can get this on Amazon. Be in Tech Go. This works really good in the cold weather.
Yeah, so you could definitely do the Amazon stuff too. I wouldn't say anything bad about that. So. Yeah, and when it breaks, you just get more wire.
There you go. It's right. Yeah. I buy it. I've been playing around with so many different types of antennas. I buy 250 feet at a time. So.
Right. Yeah. I think before we go to our next section, we need to talk about Mark Martin's post there.
Oh yeah, he had something I wanted to grab that.
Yeah, he got the Collins 74A from Bob Hiles' estate.
Nice.
That's crazy. Mark, when you get that in the shack, you got to send some pictures. I want to see that.
I still got it up.
Do you?
Let's see if I can find it. We're gonna.
Oh, look at that. I mean, that thing is mint.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Holy crap.
Oh.
That's like a 7300 on crack.
Yeah. Just that crinkle finish. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We're not gonna need a ham sexy this month. We got radio porn.
Oh boy! Meanwhile, a couple people from the FCC and black sedans are pulling up to your house. Oh boy! Someone wants to know what's on my bench back here. What are you looking at there? Over here? Over here? That's oh yeah, it's 95% IPA, rubbing alcohol. I'm not drinking it, guys. You use that for cleaning electronics, really. If I drank that, I would be really stupid. Or
you got some stuff though. So wait a second. Because we're getting towards the end here, and
I can't show it all here, but my wife, my daughter went to Punta Cana. Oh yeah. They were on a Caribbean island. I was home with the dogs for the past week. You know, my wife loves me. Asterisk. Usually. She comes, oh, I got you something, Joe. I go, what did you get me? And it's Mama Wana ready to drink aphrodisiac.
Oh.
Like, so it's a little flask bottle. It's got rum in it. It's got a bunch of leaves. It's packed with leaves and stuff. You see that?
Let's see if we can embiggen you here.
Yeah, like there we go. Look at that.
Oh wow, are those bay leaves?
I don't want to know what they are. They're but it says that it is an aphrodisiac. Okay, you know, my wife is not romantic. If you think I'm not romantic, she is even less romantic than I am. For Christmas, she goes, I need a laptop. Oh, okay, you know, I'll get you a laptop. Because she has a work laptop, but you know, she can't. It's all locked down. You can't use it for anything else.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, what do you want it for?" She goes, "Well, I want to write a novel." Want to write a novel? Oh, I mean, I'm all for it. Go ahead. What kind of novel? She goes, a sexy type novel. Sexy type novel? Lady smut? You know, the guy with the chests and, you know, the flowing hair, and the lady who is holding his pendant, his very big radiator, if you will.
Oh.
Books the ladies read. And then she gets me this.
Cocoa leaves.
I hope it's cocoa leaves. I don't it doesn't look like that hippie lettuce, if you know what I mean, but I don't know.
Well, it sounds like Matthew's.
Hey, QHQ, you gotta let me know what's in this first. You gotta put you in check. I mean, it says aphrodisiac. Is this like blue pill aphrodisiac? Right? If something happens and it doesn't go away after 4 hours, do I need to call someone?
You need to call.
No, it's not hillbilly booze. Hillbilly booze is clear, okay? Yeah. Crystal clear with very small bubbles in it. I've had that. This is coming from the Dominican Republic, okay? Punta Cana, where there are witch doctors and voodoo and a bunch of bad stuff. If I'm not here next month, guys, pray for me.
Just oh my. Let's just hope it's not coming out for Winterfield Day.
No. We'll have dog. That's not an aphrodisiac. That's a painkiller. That's a painkiller, depending on the circumstances.
All right. Hey, we got another question. We got to go finish up here. There's a couple of questions here we just want to kind of grab before we close her down. And I'll start with yet another ham radio. Looking at building an 80-meter loop. Thinking about feeding it with a ladder line, mostly to reduce weight. Be able to get it up 40 feet or more and don't want a lot of weight from the coax. Thoughts?
Yeah. Well, 273 feet. Let me double check that number.
That's the GLG special.
GLG special. Our friend Jerry W9 GLG. It is a performer. And
yes.
You get all ends up 40 feet, and you feed that with a specific amount of ladder line. You will rock 10 through 160.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. but it's like two. It can't be a half wave of any or a multiple of any half wave of any band.
Okay.
And I think it comes out to either 253 or 273. It's right in that ballpark.
I think it's. Let me see if I can find it here.
We put it up a couple years ago for Field Day, and it wasn't even very well hung, and it was great. At one point we were just running QRP just for kicks and giggles. So yet another ham radio.
Yep.
You are on the right. Because ladder line is really a lost art. There we go.
I'm looking here. There's this beautiful website from the University of Delaware.
That's still written
done all of the calculations. So to get 160, you don't have too many options. 205. No, that might be too short. 270 to 275 works for resolves the 80 to 10. But with a tuner it'll probably do 160.
Yeah.
So I bet you it might be 273 then.
273 or 283.
Yeah, 280 looks like there's a window there too.
Yeah.
So
of course, remember, if you're running insulated wire, then you got to kind of take that. There's a little bit of a velocity factor involved with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right in the ballpark there. 280-ish, 283-ish. Yeah, right around there. That's all I can remember right now.
So that's probably but then you also need a certain length of window line.
43 feet. 43 feet seems to be the magic number with ladder line.
Okay.
Or was it 33 feet? Because 33 feet is a quarter wave of 40 meters.
Yes.
And remember, when you put that in there, it becomes an actual radiating part, not just feet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and that's the way it functions. You're looking at the same thing with the G5 RV. You have to have a specific length of ladder line, and depending on what frequency you're on, it actually radiates.
Yep.
So,
and then you can transition with coax into the shack.
Yes. So yeah, same thing. It's probably 33 feet, 32 feet. And then you just transition with a 1-to-1 from balance.
1-to-1 current balance. Yep. Into the shack. And that's a killer. So.
Yep. So get it up in the air. Let us know how that goes. I want to hear, but I think you're on the right path. If you got the real estate, you can get it up 40 feet. Let's see what it can do.
Yep. Absolutely. So. All right. Brian's asking, what kind of antenna switch could I use to operate two separate antennas with two separate AH4 tuners connected to my 7300? So does the AH4, does it have bias T tuning, or do you need to have a control cable? I do not remember.
Yeah.
But if it's bias T and you're using two tuners, you're going to need an antenna switch that has a full physical disconnect from the A to the B. The braid side can't be common. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues with that bias T.
You could almost use like a knife switch.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be almost what you need to do, is the knife switch to disconnect both the braid and the center connector.
In the center between the two. Yeah.
So that's all I'd have for that. I don't think who would even have that. Probably DX Engineering.
They might. Yeah. Something that would be maybe, if there's a switch that works with power, for higher power transmitters might be your option. Now, if the 7300 needs a control cable, or the H4 needs a control cable, I don't know. Then you're probably going to have to build a custom switch box.
You would almost have to have relays or something for the
relays
control.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even know how many conductors that would be. It's got to be at least 3 or 4. Yeah, but no, if I think if the AH4 works anything like the STG tuners, you don't need to have a control cable. But STG, you don't even need to have bias T.
Well, how does it get power?
You just run 12 volts to it.
Okay, it's just a power cable, separate power cable. Okay,
Power cable to it. Yeah, so like the sidewinders or screwdriver antennas, the 8TAS 100, 120, those are the ones that they need like a DC bias on the coax.
Yep.
And actually you could take like an 8TAS 120 and you can just feed the center pin with it between 8 and 12 volts and lengthen it and shorten it.
Yeah.
So Chris says AH4 uses a cable with power and coax.
And a coax.
So you have to run 12 volts to it or 24 volts, whatever it takes, probably 12, and a coax. So realistically, you're not using a DC bias on that. You could use just about any regular antenna switch.
Okay.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, that might, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think but I think DX engineering is the right avenue to go there.
DX engineering on it, because I guess then the question is, because it's a tuner, the foil or the shield does act as a counterpoise on that, or can act as a counterpoise, and if that's connected to the coax going back out to the other antenna, would that cause a problem?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I would contact DX engineering on and see what they say. That's an interesting come up.
Yeah. So, I guess they couldn't help either. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
I don't know. Yeah, this is something. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, with two.
Did you try calling ICOM?
Oh, there is an option.
Call ICOM and see what they say, because I mean, someone's had to run them more than once before.
You would think.
Yeah. But no, does the 7300 have 2 separate outputs, or is it just one output?
I don't know, but the tune signal is triggered by the 7300, and there's no easy way to hook up 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. So, I would call ICOM on that. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
I wonder if digging through the QST archives would come up with something, because if somebody came up with a solution, it may have been published.
Call AWR Labs. If you're an ARL member, they'll help you out.
Yeah, maybe that would be an option. Yeah, it might be an option too. So a little.
Yeah, that's interesting. I want to hear what they say.
Little periodical search. So, yeah, that one's got me stumped. So not mostly because I'm not currently an ICOM user, but yeah.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, best of luck on that. Hopefully you can come up with some kind of an answer. So.
Yeah. Anyways.
We're kind of running. We're going to grab this last one quick, and then we're gonna have to shut it down. Let's see. KPV, after 29 years as a tech, upgraded to extra, have no HF equipment, looking at a 7300 or an 891 and an NFED half wave to start with. Suggestions from Michael's area. Okay, so you're local. Well, if you're looking at if it's going to be indoors, if you're looking at setting your station up at home, like a home station or something like that, I would probably gravitate towards the 7300. I've used the 891 in the shack for about a year, and it's a very workable rig as a shack rig, but just because of its compact nature, it's not the most, if you're looking for the features that make operating an HF transceiver in the shack usable, the 891 is not it, just because a lot of controls get hidden behind 1 or 2 or 3 button presses. But the 891 or the 7300's got more buttons, got more controls. It just makes setting things a little bit easier.
Yeah, the 891 is great in the field, but
absolutely beautiful in the field.
Decent. The 7300 has got really good receive.
Really good receive.
Full SDR. So if you really want to pull those stations out of the weeds, the 7300. But the 7300 doesn't really fare well taking it to park to park to park.
No, it's bulky. It's bulky. Ham Till It Hurts says the FT710.
Oh,
I would seriously consider the 710. You know what I would do if you're in my neck of the woods, I would take a day trip down to Milwaukee. I would go to HRO and I would sit in front of those rigs and I would feel them out and turn the knobs, and that will be the answer to your question.
Yeah. The 710, that's a radio, and it does both. It's still got kind of like menus buried in menus.
Yep.
That's what it is. But it's got super duper receive.
It does.
It's SDR, and you can take that mobile. You can take that out in the park.
Yep.
And it's $100.
Yeah. But the people there, they'll help you out. Just go take a day trip. You can go to Pop's Barbecue and get some barbecue, and you go to his HRO and you can look at rigs and that's make a day out of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. QHQ got the FTDX10.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how those days. No, well, that's how I ended up with my the FTDX 3000, because we were down in Milwaukee and I twiddled the knobs on the 7300 and I didn't like it. I thought that was the radio I wanted. And then I saw the 3000 and I said, that's what I'm looking for. So
yeah. No, I have a 3000 too. That's the last of the good triple het receivers. I mean, everything from here on out, it's going to be SDR direct conversion. The actual old school triple heterodyne receivers, the 7300, the FTDX 3000, 5000, and 9000 were probably some of the best. The only thing I can think of is Elecraft. There's a few others out there, but nowadays that's the last generation. Everything from here on out, it's going to be SDR.
Yeah. Yep. 90 miles east. So he's over in the Green Bay Fox Valley area. So yeah, go to Milwaukee. Look at him. It's a short trip for you. You could be there in 2 hours. Yeah. So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. So don't listen to me. Go, just demo them. Just demo them.
Yeah. And if you break it, you don't buy it. But you're not going to break it.
You're not going to break it. They're good guys down there. So. All right. Well, with that, it's getting late. We've been really talking for a long time. So
2-hour show tonight.
Yeah, I can't believe it. So, just a reminder coming up. We talked about all these events, but the most important thing to remember is our next live stream is going to be Thursday, February 6th. So, hope to see you then. By then, we'll be through Winter Field Day. We'll be through the Minnesota QSO party. We'll tell you, all about those two great events, what happened, and
if we survived.
If we survived, Winter Field Day, listen for us. We're our location is gonna have Wi-Fi, so cross our fingers, we'll have a live stream.
We'll get that posted shortly once we get it planned out, but I think we can. So,
so good deal. So, all right. Yeah, Pop's Barbecue purchased Kingsford by the pallet. That is good. That guy is he's got the best stuff. Memphis style barbecue. It's on Good Hope Road over by the highway. Great, delicious.
Kingsford, you know it's good, right?
You know it's good. It's great. It's yeah, especially the mac and cheese. So okay, so well, thanks a lot everybody for joining us. It's been great. We've been a great crowd, had a lot of great questions, and thanks for spending the last couple of hours. But we're gonna have to close it up for this month. So I'm Michael, KB9 VBR.
I'm Jones, KD9 CJX.
Yes, good evening in 7.